Air Assault. Hello, friends, and welcome to Shiro Coffee Chat. We hope you've had a great week, and thank you for joining us today. We've got a full cup ahead, so grab your Shiro coffee, because we're taking a spin around the Shiro resource table. Plus, we've got your chat, tip, and guest of the week. Let's give a big shout out to our host, Melissa Farmer-Hill, Army combat veteran, host of Shiro Coffee Chat, and founder of the Shiro Coffee Club, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. And now, reporting for duty and ready to lead the conversation, Melissa Farmer-Hill.
Aerosol! Good morning, friends. I am Melissa Farmer-Hill, retired Army combat veteran and founder of the Shiro Coffee Club, where I amplify the voices of women, veterans, and women who show up as champions in everyday life. And I do this through coffee, tea, and conversations like the one we're leading right here today on Shiro Coffee Chat. I just want to welcome you. Welcome to Shiro Coffee Chat. And I hope that you had a great weekend. And I do hope that you are ready to get into it. And wait a minute now. If you don't have your coffee, your Shiro coffee, or your Shiro Metro tea, you know you can always go to shirocoffee.com, because I want you to drink with purpose. Delicious coffee, luxury teas. Come on, drink with purpose and help us keep her story alive, right? So thank you for that. Thank you for joining us. Now today, you guys, woo! Especially for women, we are reclaiming our health. Let me ask you a question. Are you ready to reclaim your health? Sounds like you are. It's about time, right? And today I'm not just talking about your physical health, but mentally and emotionally too. And that's exactly why I'm excited about this conversation. Yes, let me introduce you guys to Cheryl Mabry, owner of Health E with Coach C. I love that. And Yoga for First Responders. Yes, Cheryl is a metabolic health coach, a 500-hour certified yoga teacher, and a resilience educator with over 30 years experiencing and sharing in multiple industries. She specializes in helping women reclaim their health, confidence, and inner strength, particularly, right, those who have served in the military and first responders. Now, after navigating her own journey of fertility struggles, spinal surgery, and career shifts, Cheryl now focuses on metabolic health and nervous system regulation. Her work is a blend of science, empathy, and lifestyle in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Cheryl Mabry. Hi, Cheryl.
Well, good morning, Melissa. Welcome. I'm so excited to be a part of this community and support all of the veterans out there. So thank you for your service.
Wonderful. You guys, I know you guys hear her voice. Even her voice has that calming tone, right? Do you hear how she speaks? I'm just so excited. I'm ready. I'm all amped up, and she just brings it down.
Both are where we live, so let's just do that. Hey, can I hijack the conversation and let's do a breath? I don't ever want to leave a conversation without somebody having a tool, and my best tool is my breath. If you're a believer like me, breath is life. Shorter the breath, and I'm about 5'1", so I talk to the shorties out there. Short breath, short life. Long breath, long life. So if your health allows this morning, take a deep breath through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, do an HA. Do that 2 more times. One last time. What do you notice about you right now, Melissa?
I notice that I've calmed down. My shoulders dropped. My shoulders dropped more. And I feel good. I feel good.
Do this. Do one more breath like that. On your inhale out, I want you to say, I am here. As you exhale, I am strong.
Okay, I am here. I am strong. All right. Let's go!
I'm up. You can do it.
Oh my goodness. Already you've shown us something that just speaks volumes. Thank you so much. Let's just dive into a little breath work. Why is breath work so important?
I always believed my breath was important. I studied yoga for about 20 years and I was practicing, and it came down to the night before I had spinal fusion surgery. And neighbor was over and he says to me, like, how come, you seem calm? I hadn't had a tear, like knowing this was coming. I'm 35. I don't know if I'm going to walk the next day. And I just kind of turned to my breath. That was in 2009. Fast forward 2019, and I'm studying with Yoga for First Responders, the non-for-profit that I support. It helps veterans, military, and first responders with post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic healing. And I got the science behind why all that breath work, why I wasn't angry, upset, nervous, freaking out with my back surgery and all these other events, because the idea that our breath is this portal into the nervous system. And that when you have better management of your breath, I've literally been training my body, my brain, and my nervous system to be reactive in fight or flight, or in that rest and digest. And so I had sort of hijacked my system without even knowing it. And I'm like, wow, I've been practicing this the whole time. So I knew I had already given myself the gift. And just that why, for the whyers out there that need to know why you do something, breath was it. And I continue to see how it shows up in when those shoulders rise, in those hard conversations or the hard places in life. I'm like, come back to my breath, Cheryl. That's going to keep my brain in the conversation, my body in the present moment, and my creativity versus criticism. So, long-winded answer to why breath is important.
No, it definitely helps. So the breath work that I just did, like you said, I love that you asked the question, well, how are you feeling afterward? Like I did literally felt my shoulders like, relax. You get into it. Right. And so a lot of people may feel like, and what I'm trying to get to is the practice of it, because a lot of people, like, let me just be transparent and real.
Bring it.
This is dumb. This breath work, it doesn't even make sense. I breathe every day. Why are these, breathe, inhale up, then inhale out for a certain count? How is that going to change my life? But I think is it the practice of it that helps? Because I don't know, did you just go in and say, okay, I'm going to breathe and now, but was it over time? Did it just suddenly happen, or was it over time?
No, it's a great question. And the word that comes up for me is intentionality. Yes, our body naturally breathes, but from life, stress, trauma, whatever terms you want to use, even just sitting, like I'm sitting in a chair right now, I can tell you that if you have children, if you've ever watched a kid breathe, right, they belly breathe. And as life comes at us, as we grow and change and get into our head, our belly doesn't exactly expand. Well, our lungs actually take up like that much space.
Wow.
So, to be really graphic, right? If I'm holding it in all the time, if I'm putting pressure on my vagus nerve, the biggest nerve in my body, it's literally like stomping on the brakes of my nervous system. So I literally, by sitting too much, holding in my stomach like I did as a kid, because everybody might be looking, I put myself into a tense or stressed state. So when I learn to breathe and go, I take the pressure off. I expand my lungs at a greater capacity. And it became super evident with a lot of folks during 2020, 2025.
Oh, wow.
Throughout COVID, when breath became shorter, stress became higher, fear of germs, and all of the things that came with that. I had people in the medical community reaching out to me saying, before we put people on ventilators, we turn them over on their stomach and teach them to breathe. Why? If you've ever seen a little kid do tummy time, we can learn everything from children. Tummy time tells you that the respiratory muscles
of
your body matter. If we sit and curve our body like this, they're not working. They're not expanding and contracting. So how powerful utilizing your lungs to the full capacity intentionally, as well as training the respiratory muscles to expand and contract so that they know how to do it when life has you twist and go, oh no.
Right.
Maybe that makes sense.
That was so amazing that when you talk, when I think of lungs, I think this part in the front, and I'm not going to show my, no one wants to see this, but I think when I think about the lungs, I think about the front part of my lungs, but then that's just a new revelation. It's the back.
Melissa, I think we're in a similar generation, and I bet a lot of veterans.
I'm Gen X.
So when I was a kid, my dad had an accordion. Remember what that instrument looks like?
Yeah.
So if anybody listening, catching the recording, close your eyes. Imagine that accordion. It expands, right? And when it contracts, the sound comes out. Your lungs are the same way. So that idea of this beautiful symphony going on the inside is what you get to create. And when you're just living everyday life and you're trying to, prove something to your boss or your spouse or, handle all of life's, where do we sit?
Yeah.
And none of that happens. So the intentional practice, back to your initial thought, is like, why is this important? Look at the physicality of why longer breaths are important.
Yeah.
Why different styles of breath suit different situations. Why you can actually energize yourself by quickening your breath, bring energy instead of energy drinks. Just saying. Or coffee and tea, all of the things, or you can actually down-regulate yourself using breath. And that's one of the big ones for me, and one that I teach a lot of women, is how when you find yourself, when you pause long enough to notice that you're in okay, my brain's not working, I can't think straight, there's too many things going on, how do you down-regulate so that you get in a state of, I can make a clear decision, I can choose a priority and an action going forward.
Wow. This is great. And I want, can you tell me, for just a person who right after this, well, I want to start practicing the breath work. Can you take us through that little practice that we just did? Just something that they can use immediately, maybe right after this show. A lot of people are stressed. So yeah, can you take us through that? So at least they will have that nugget. You've given us a lot of nuggets, but at least they can go back to this section of the program and they'll have this nugget for what they can just do as a daily practice.
I mean, I always come back to, if I want to feel a little more balance, is to keep the same count in and the same count out. So for me, that's 3. 3 doesn't always work. A lot of people, veterans, consider a box breath very regulating. I do find, if you're familiar with the box breath of inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, is those holds oftentimes, not everybody's system is ready for something like that. And that hold might create a little dysregulation. So I always go in 3, out 3. And then I layer in, where are my thoughts in that? So when I think 3-part breath, I think, can I get the breath all the way to the base of my lungs first? Just like my water bottle, it fills bottom third, mid third, upper third. So that's what I picture. This is like that inner cylinder of me. So if I breathe in, I want to feel my belly expand and contract. Then I want to feel my ribs expand and contract. Then I want to feel my chest, upper back area. So just do that. Put your hand on your belly right now and just imagine. Inflate and deflate. It's like whatever waistband you have. It doesn't matter if it's stretchy or a belt. Breathe in, push that waistband out further, pull away from it. And that takes practice when we've been living up here for a while. So that's where I'd start people, is practice a belly breath. When you notice you get distracted, because it's going to happen, is come back to, I'm here now. This is where I'm breathing. You literally tell yourself, I'm here now. This is where I'm breathing. And then that inhale happens. I like nose breathing. Gets a little more oxygen to the brain. I've trained for that. Exhale down from your chest. Ribs collapse. Belly draws in. So I would do that and think of it like a 2-minute practice.
Okay.
Brush your teeth for 2 minutes. Do you get distracted? Maybe. Do you have an emotional response to brushing your teeth? Like, I don't want to, or this is dumb, or what's the purpose? All of the questions that people might come up with by intentionally breathing matters. It's like brushing your teeth. You want regulation for oral health, bacteria, rotten teeth, whatever it is. Do the same for your nervous system. So in 3, out 3, and speak to yourself in that rhythm.
In 3, out 3, speak to yourself.
Yeah. And you don't even ask, you tell your nervous system what you want right now. Like, if I want to calm down, because, hey, I'm not a yoga teacher and all, I'm not here to tell you that stress is bad. Stress is a really important tool. The hormones that allow us to be in the moment and fight or flee, or even freeze, are really powerful. So we don't want to not embrace or not say, hey, thanks, body, for doing this. You just want to teach the body that that's a response that's okay for 30, 60, 90 seconds, but I'm not meant to live there. And the problems or the dis-ease, when I use the word disease, it's dis-ease. That's happening in the body. That's where the breakdown, immune system doesn't heal, right? For me, it was fertility issues. There's so many systems in the body that won't work when we're in a constant state of dysregulation. And so over time, disease is what happens. Let's go with the big 4, right? Hence why my work in metabolic health is so pivotal. It's the high blood pressure, it's the heart disease, it's the high blood sugar and diabetes, prediabetes, high A1Cs, cholesterol issues. All of those things come from a body that doesn't know how to rest and digest over time. Hence why consistent practice means that you're literally saving your life one day, one breath at a time.
I love it, because, and what I really like about what you said is, because I've been studying a little bit, like, about is it the sympathetic and the parasympathetic? They're both needed. You need that fight or flight, but what you're saying is we don't need it so much because a tiger's not chasing us, or a lion. You know what I'm saying? You need it, and I love the way you put it, in that you don't knock one or the other, because they're both needed. But right now, we may be doing too much of one thing and not getting that balance. I love it. So thank you for that. And now I really want to get into health. And I want to show the audience a picture of you. And I want you to tell me just who was the before and who was the after, because clearly there's a difference. You're beautiful in both pictures, by the way, but I just wanted you to tell our audience who is the before Cheryl and who's the after Cheryl. And here's our picture right here. Lovely in both. So let's talk about it.
There's that sort of forced smile as I look at that image. Elbow across my body. I meet so many women that are either hiding behind their kids, their handbags, their friends. And I think that's really the conversation that I don't think enough of us are having, is telling ourselves the truth. And I was at a conference that day. I was in my head about learning something. But the deeper part of me was in a lot of pain. And the physical pain of even after my back surgery, because that was like 2015, I was turning to food like my dad taught me. So as somebody who grew up with a Navy veteran who was in Vietnam, my dad had a lot of mental and physical pains, and he chose sugar, he chose alcohol as his ways of coping. And when I have conversations with women like myself who aren't cognizant of those choices, who want to blame family genetics instead of family habits,
Mm-hmm.
I learned that after school, when you want to feel better, you have a bowl of ice cream, or, those 8 packs of RC Cola that used to come in glass bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the norm. And my dad wasn't a good communicator. He really was struggling, and nobody gave him the tools or said, this is how to better relate to your family, because his dysregulation led him to his choices. And those just became mine. And so when I look at this woman that was starting to learn those tools and then had to make one daily choice at a time, that I can honor my dad by taking better care of me, by caring for my mother after losing my dad nearly 10 years ago, but also look to the veteran community that my dad supported for so long and say, everyone's life matters. And if they don't have the tools, they can learn from me because I learned from him.
Wow. Now, let's go to the next picture. I know what I see, but tell me what you see when you look at who you've become, who you are now.
I was always somebody that chose the gym and helping others. Like, I taught group fitness for 30 years, and I thought teaching people how to work out was the way I was supposed to help. And when I look at myself, I was hiding behind this layer of, not only was it excess fat, but it was excess of visceral fat. It was literally kind of squeezing on my organs. And that connection that I still am challenged with sugar, really, it didn't help my brain to operate. And as I look at the woman on the right, this is somebody that went through job loss, almost 24-year career. Like, they didn't want me anymore. I felt abandoned. And my dad passes away. My dog dies. My aunt dies. Like, there was a year and a half of really, really hard. And I was hiding. It was really missing a community of people that supported one another. So I've grown into raising my hand, asking for help, being really vocal about where my mental, my physical, and emotional challenges are. And even 3 years ago, having a car accident, like, the gym wasn't my answer. I got into the mental gym, got into a community of people that were big, bold, vulnerable, and real. And then I got in the kitchen and realized that the 23 hours a day that, if people spend an hour in the gym in the day, I don't know if they do, that the kitchen was where I had to grow a better relationship to food and using food as fuel instead of a mechanism to feel better. Like I got a lot of other tools for that. And that awareness in itself shows that woman right there and the woman I am today.
Powerful.
Sweating.
Powerful. When we look in that mirror and face that truth, a lot of good can come out of that if we're willing to do the work. There is something you said that I just can't let it go, Cheryl. You said genetics versus habits, because I will tell you, well, my family had it. My mom had high blood pressure, so why shouldn't I have high blood pressure? I'm just giving you examples of things I heard. I'm big, I'm fat, I'm overweight or whatever because I'm big boned. There is, and so when you said genetics versus habits, I'm like, let's explore that. So can we dive a little deeper into the genetics versus habits and your thoughts on that?
Hey, this is a new one for me. Like, thank goodness for Olivia Mead and the folks in Yoga for First Responders.
Shout out to Yoga for First Responders.
That was a big piece. It continues to be a big piece of my education. And the idea of genetics versus, maybe you've heard the term, maybe you haven't, epigenetics.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that.
And epigenetics is the idea that, yes, this is what you got from mommy and daddy. And if you haven't seen my Facebook page, my Instagram, like I highlight my mom a lot. My mom's 84. She's handicapped, 2 shoulder replacements, one knee replacement, 2 hip replacements, 2 hand surgeries, a 10-level spinal fusion, like on paper, and she's walker bound. She has neuropathy up to her mid-thigh. Like she's everything that could say, I can't do anything. And I could look at that and go, that's my future. But again, that relates to how do I talk to myself? So when it comes to epigenetics is the idea that our body, brain, nervous system are impacted by the food we eat, the people we're around, the environments we're in. There's so many other factors that literally change A, your brain, and B, your DNA. So when I learned that epigenetics, like I have a lot more power than I ever thought I had. That belief shift for myself and most everyone is where it's at. And when you actually take some information and you put it into belief and practice, epigenetics for me was, wow, I have a lot more control in this situation, in who I choose to be around, what I choose to believe, the actions I take, the food I put in my body. That was it. And I can't unlearn like that. If I could drop a physical mic right now, I would. And I hope that those listening will have the same idea. This is the power that we take back. Instead of pointing the finger, I'm no longer a victim. I'm a victor in my own life. And this allows me to move physically through the worlds I want to be in. This allows me to be around the people I want to impact. And maybe that's as a mom, as an aunt, as a, adventurer. Like you said, you're in a different part of the country because you physically can do those things. And I don't care if you just want to, carry groceries or you want to play with your grandkids. Like this idea of I get to control this machine. It's the only one I got. I think of if you had a car and life told you you only get one, how are you going to treat it?
Right. This is amazing. Are you familiar with a person named Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Yeah.
He says, and when we talk about the mental aspect, he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm trying to remember it. He says, if our thoughts can make us sick, then our thoughts can also make us well. And what you've just said really speaks to that. It really speaks to that because it's easy for a person, I guess because we're always thinking of survival and protection. How do it's easy for us to always look at the negative and say, I got a headache. Or we can cause ourselves, we're angry, and that anger causes a headache, and that headache causes you to do something or go spaz out, or, crash out on Instagram or somewhere. Those are negative thoughts that are causing that reaction. But what you're saying is kind of like what Dr. Joe Dispenza is saying. Then we can take those same thoughts and take them, tell ourselves the truth, take it to the kitchen, take it to the gym.
You're describing the beautiful ripple effect.
Okay.
I outside of the empowerment piece, the idea a lot of this isn't our fault.
Yeah.
Our brain is hardwired to save our life. If it didn't, we'd all walk in front of the bus, or we would, not pause before going down the stairs, whatever scary thing you can think of. I want my brain to have negative thoughts. I wake up and I say, thank you, brain, for keeping me safe. Now, I also have the power to train my brain, body, nervous system to work in sync. In this moment, I'm in a conversation with Melissa. I'm here now. I'm hanging out with this amazing Shiro veteran community. I am not fearing for my life. I'm not even fearful of somebody not liking what I gotta say, because I get to train my brain to focus on, let's say if there's 8 thoughts in any given moment, 5 to 6 are likely the bad ones, the save my life ones. The 2 to 3 are, this is an amazing conversation. I train my brain to focus on those. Same thing when I walk out this room and I make my husband breakfast, that's going to be another, I get to control what I put in our bodies. That power of thank you, brain, for doing your job. And also I get to choose the path and how it ripples, as you described.
So what's coming up for me is just the intentionality of your day. It's just being, that's why it's so important to just be intentional. What's that? What's the book?
This is my intentionality. I'm leading a small group in what's called Stay Ready. And this incredible journal is a 50-day discipline journey. And my intentionality around no snooze, no booze, a walk in nature, no technology, a workout of any kind, and learning from someone.
What day are you? What day are you and your group on?
We are on day 35, I believe.
Wow. Now I know, day 35, so you're almost done with that. But now I know you've got another program coming up on the 28th. So can you tell us about that program? I didn't even know. We're already 33 minutes and I want to, you gotta come back. You gotta come back. But I want you to tell us about your program that's starting.
Absolutely. So I'm part of a group of coaches that are really honoring metabolic health. And one of the programs that I partner with regarding nutrition is Optivia, and utilizing their nutrition tools has a proven track record, medically proven, FTC approved, to get reduced or eliminated diabetes, reduced or eliminated high blood pressure, high cholesterol, a bunch of different things. So we've chosen this metabolic reset program to prove those results. We did a program in January. I'll be happy to share those stats. But anyone that wants to choose themselves in a small and structured way, it's 28 days to reset your metabolic health. Many of us working out, thinking we're doing the right thing, having a cheat day, doing all of these things and maybe not getting results. Ladies in that 40 to 60 category, guys too, I'm working with you. This is amazing. It's $1 a day. It's like $28. You get a little bit of video. You're part of my team in this group. But we gave over $22,000 away in January. And I know the group's going to grow. But the wisdom that came out of how we run this machine, how we can do it a little differently and not focus on this is a temporary thing or a diet thing, but a lifestyle that allows me to live my best life.
Oh, wow. So we have,
You're doing it, by the way.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You're doing it, by the way.
I'm there. I'm there. Okay. So I've got yours. So if they want to participate in this, well, for one, can you explain, I can't take for granted that people know. I don't want to take that for granted. Let's talk about metabolic, like metabolism. Can you, just kind of explain that, because it's a metabolic reset program. So can you explain that word metabolic for those?
My best understanding is, how many of us feel like whatever we used to do isn't getting the same result? Maybe that's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's, moodiness, emotional regulation, energy, that mid-afternoon crash. There's a lot of indicators that our metabolism isn't working at its most optimal level. So I have a quick little 1-minute quiz. You can answer a few questions, understand like that. And also, is my body aging quicker than it needs to?
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of, is my body using the food, the information, the hydration appropriately? Some people are like, oh, I just eat a bunch of this, or I drink a bunch of this. Is your body just sending it out as waste, or is that actually putting it to use? I can tell you that I focus on 100, 120 grams of protein a day. Is that actually building my muscle? Yes, I know it because I get on a metabolic scale, one that chooses to look at my body composition, not just my total number. So I'm looking at, what's my body fat percentage, what's my muscle mass percentage, what's my visceral fat, that deadly fat that's squeezing my organs, and that I've brought down to between a 4 and a 5 on any given day. So that's going to be my gift. The 1-minute quiz for anybody that wants to say, how I feel translates to how my metabolism's working. 2, would a reset benefit me? You can have a conversation. And if you join the program, if you want to do a DIY, do it yourself on the nutrition, or if you want the structure that gets proven results, 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss, but a reduction in visceral fat, A1C levels, and high blood pressure, I'm all in for it. I'll send you that metabolic scale on me.
Oh, wow. I really could use that. Yes. So I am going to be a part of your metabolic reset program. And if anyone else wants to join, I've got your Facebook information. I've got your Instagram information, and I've got your Linktree information, and they can contact you there, right? Okay, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Definitely we'll have you back maybe after the 28-day program, or sometime after that. I think that would be wonderful. And then I could share my experience in it as well. But I am going to leave the last words for you. I'm going to pull myself off of the screen and let you say whatever you want to share with your audience, with our audience. Thank you for joining us today.
Whew, that's a big one. I want to thank you all for joining me, for believing in the words that I'm passing to you, and the belief in yourself that you matter, your health matters. And if you look at the people in your sphere, you want to continue to serve at the level that you have, let's do this. Let's take you to your next best level.
Oh, wait, I do have an applause button that I am definitely going to use. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this show. That, again, that metabolic reset program, I'm going to definitely sign up for it. I'm curious. And so if you guys want to join her in this program, her information is at the bottom. Take that and
step into your next level self. Absolutely.
Stepping into your next level self. I love it. I love it. I love it. So again, thank you for spending this time with us. And as always, keep the conversation going. and keep sipping Cheryl. We'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.